Daniel Chester French, born April 20th, 1850, and he lived in Massachusetts. He attended the prestigious MIT University. However, school life was not for him. So after leaving MIT, he moved back to the family farm. He had always had a passion for carving and sculpting things since he was a young boy. One of his neighbors, May Alcott, an American artist in her own right, provided Mr. French with the tools and the media he needed to hone his sculpting craft. He had used turnips and pieces of wood that he found lying around his family farm prior to that. Now, Mrs. May Alcott just happened to be the sister of Louisa May Alcott, who wrote the novel Little Women. His first pieces was a bust of his father, Henry Flagg French. Later, he received a commission from Concord, New Hampshire, and the Minuteman was born. While he received no pay for his sculpture or statue, he decided that he could just live on the name recognition alone. The Minuteman statue gave Mr. French an opening to create more works for the government. This was due in part because of his father. His father was Assistant Secretary of the Treasury, and that, of course, that gave him an opening into doing more government buildings, although his pieces are all over the world. However, his most well-known piece is that of Abraham Lincoln, seated at the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. Because he was a leading sculptor of the day, he received the commission and created the seated Mr. Lincoln. He made some miniature versions of the sculpture. However, the finished version is 19 feet tall and carved from 28 blocks of white Georgian marble. He later had special lighting installed to enhance his sculpture. The building and the sculpture were dedicated on May 30th, 1922, 57 years after Lincoln's death. This piece, Andromeda, was his last piece. He loved it dearly, and he would move it out on train tracks, so to speak, out of his studio so that he could see it in the daylight. Andromeda is on display at his home called Chesterwood. He died at Chesterwood in 1931. His home is now part of the National Trust for Historic Preservation and is the only home and studio among the Trust's 29 historic sites. Chesterwood is located in Stockbridge, Massachusetts, and is open to the public. Thank you.